Hey y'all, dedicated father here. I wasn't even quite sure how to make a video. Last couple days, just nothing's jumped out to me that wasn't just hardcore political. There's just been a lot of stuff going on that side of things, and I try not to bring that onto this channel. Not because I won't share my views. I'll gladly share my views with you. I don't. I try not to offend someone, but if I offend them, it's usually on them, not me. Um, because that's when you agree to something, and that's where I'm going with this. When you think something is right and you have every bit of, whether it be evidence or every bit of just research you've done, mental research, whatever, you're you're passionate about it. I have no problem having a conversation and breaking down with somebody where we don't agree on something. And then a lot of times people get upset. I'm like, well, explain this to me then, and I'll kind of put their view out there. What they just explained to me, the brief of it, explain the whole thing. That way I can, it's not, they'll look at it as I'm trying to like debunk them. Really, I'm trying to test myself like, okay, is my thought actually correct? Because if I'm wrong, I'm the first to be like, whoop, I'm sorry, I'm out. Yes, you're right. Like, but I gotta hit that point. I gotta hit that like, oh, wait a minute. So today, I watched a little kid get so confused, yet you could tell it was like, well, I'm going by my daddy's say. And then I was talking to the teacher about it afterwards, and I was trying so hard not to laugh. I left, and if it wasn't the fact that I was dropping my daughter off, I probably would have been dying laughing on the way out to my truck. Obviously, my mood's a little different, but so Dylan, if you ever get to watch this, I may send this to you, brother. But this is about Canyon, and I'm dropping my daughter off, and I'm talking to the teacher, and we're talking about just random stuff. And all of a sudden, I'm going to love on my daughter, and I hear Tiffany, the teacher. She's like, "Hey, who just did what?" And I look over, and there's a little kid just crying and holding his eye, and another kid, Canyon, sitting there going, I don't know what really happened. Just like, no, you know exactly what happened. Let's hear it. So he's sitting there talking, and basically what happened was the kid walked up and just out of nowhere, like was trying to play around, but just was like whack and just smacked Canyon. And Canyon, keep in mind, we're talking 4 year olds. And so Canyon, which I caught the end of it, but I didn't realize he actually made contact because I thought he was just joking. It was such good, like, it was bad form, but good effort. I mean, he just straight right hooked the kid, just wham, clocked him right across the eye. So she's like, we don't hit, we can't hit at school. And he, clear as day, says, my daddy says if he hits me first, I can hit him back. And with this little southern accent, I'm dying. I'm dying. It's because I know his parents. I believe very much the same things as his parents, all the way down biblically. Like we align, which is funny because I know them through an ex. So like you would think we wouldn't align, and we don't hang out and all that stuff. That's a little awkward, but we align so much that I am just rolling laughing watching this scenario in my head. And then I'm like, okay, I got to flip back to I'm dropping my daughter off. This is a sad time. I'm not going to see her for a few days. And I'm like, okay. Like get back to business here. And then as I'm home, I'm kind of moving some stuff around, doing some chores, getting ready to do a workout here. I'm like, all right, and I just start busting up laughing again about it. Especially this kid. I mean, he's a good kid too, y'all. Like, I walked in, first thing Canyon did was run up to me and give me a big old hug. And it just, it's not like he's a bad kid. He's a hyper kid. He's all like my daughter. They're they beat to their own drum. But he didn't just walk up and cold clock the kid. No, he defended himself, and it's hard not to applaud it. And I do applaud it actually, but at that age it's tough because you're kind of teaching them like they don't quite understand, so then they think they can hit free willy, but or free nilly. But so I was talking to the teacher afterwards, or when that happened. She's like, it's so tough because I teach my kids the same thing, and she's got 3 kids staggered through the ages, and I think 3, and she's like, I've taught them the same thing, and I'd be buying them ice cream for doing it. Like, it's just, this is such a tough scenario to have to tell them don't do this. Yet, I mean, we're kind of on the other side. I made a video about a month ago. My daughter did the exact same thing not because someone was hitting her, but she was sticking up for another kid. It might have only been like a week or two ago. I don't know. Time flies. But it's tough because you want to applaud them. So, anyways, y'all, I'll leave it at that. I don't want to ramble too much on that. I really wanted to press on. We need to make sure we're teaching these kids do the right thing. And I know he's getting told by his teacher what the teacher's told to say. Because if you have kids just hitting each other back and forth, state's going to get involved. And I don't care what state you're in when it comes to the children's welfare side of things, there's a need for it. Don't get me wrong whatsoever. There's a need for it. There's some bad people out there. There's some bad situations, and these kids are being raised in horrible situations. So CPS and these children's welfare programs they have a purpose, but most of them are ran very liberally. So they hear about a kid swinging, and they immediately think this kid's a juvenile delinquent at age 4, and he's going to prison eventually, and blah blah blah. He's going to be a drug lord. I mean, their minds go way left field on that. So I get we can't, they have to make sure their schools and their daycare stay open. They have to abide by those rules, but it doesn't mean we can't applaud the kids for sticking up for themselves, and especially in this sense. Cannon, I mean, it's not his fault the kid didn't know how to hit and he slapped him instead of punched him. But Cannon knew how to hit and he took care of business. His older brother taught him right. So y'all, I'm going to send this to you, Dylan. But y'all, I hope y'all have an amazingly blessed day. Try to find some light and some humor in some of these situations that may be a little tougher to balance. But y'all, be strong, be blessed, raise them right.